Hello everyone, it's me Mrs. Gronnert, and today I'm going to tell you the story of the Little Red Hen. Well, once upon a time there was a little red hen who lived in a lovely farmyard with many different animals. The little red hen was very busy all day long because she took excellent care of her home. She cleaned it, and she always went out to gather delicious, juicy worms for herself and her chicks to eat. So the little red hen almost never rested. But the other animals on the farmyard were not quite as hard-working as the little red hen. There was a lazy pig who loved to oink, to eat, and to roll around in the mud. There was a sleepy dog who liked to bark and sleep. And there was a vain cat who liked to look at itself in puddles and mirrors, because the cat thought that it was the most beautiful creature to walk around the farm. Well, one day the little red hen was out pecking around for worms when she found something wonderful. Oh, look what I found. It's a grain. It's a grain of wheat. I know just what I can do with this wonderful grain of wheat. I can plant it so that I can make something wonderful later on. I think I'll ask my friends if they'd like to help me plant the wheat. And that's just what she did. The little red hen went around the farmyard and said, "Who will help me plant this wheat?" Well, you know what those lazy animals did. The pig just oinked, rolled around in the mud, and said, "Not I." The sleepy dog, "Not I," barked that sleepy dog. And the cat responded, "Not I," meowed the cat. "Why, I might get my paws dirty." So the little red hen decided to plant the seed all by herself. And that's exactly what she did. She went over and planted the seed right into the ground. Now, after many weeks, the seed grew and grew and grew into a big, beautiful wheat plant. And it was time to harvest the wheat, which means the little red hen was going to go cut it. So that's when she decided to ask her friends again for help. So she went out into the farmyard and said, "Who will help me plant this wheat?" Well, do you know what those lazy animals did? Nothing. Nothing at all. "Not I," oinked the pig, rolling around in the mud. "Not I," barked the dog, closing his eyes to go back to sleep. "Meow, not I," meowed the cat. "I might get my paws dirty," meowed the cat. Well, the little red hen decided she would go and cut the wheat all by herself. And you know what? That's exactly what she did. She went and cut down the wheat. And then, once the wheat was cut, it was time to thresh the wheat. Now, threshing is when you hit the wheat plants to get all the grains of wheat off. so she decided to ask her friends for help again. And she said, "Who will help me thresh the wheat?" Well, do you know what those lazy animals did? Of course, nothing at all. "Not I," oinked the pig, rolling around in the mud. Not I," barked the dog, falling back asleep. "Not I," meowed the cat. "I might break a nail." Well, the little red hen decided that she would thresh the wheat all by herself. And that's just what she did. She went and threshed the wheat and got all the grains off. Once the grains were off of the plant, she gathered them together in a bag and said, "Who will help me grind this wheat into flour?" Well, of course, those animals weren't going to help, but she asked anyway. "Not I," oinked the pig. "Not I," barked the dog, falling back asleep. "Meow. Not I," meowed the cat. "I might get my paws dirty." So the little red hen decided to go and grind the flour all on her own. And that's just what she did. She took the grains of wheat and she ground them into a beautiful wheat flour. Just the thing she needed to make a wonderful bread dough. So the next day, she had the wonderful flour, and she decided she'd ask her friends again if they would help her make the flour into dough. So she said, "Who will help me make this flour into dough?" Well, of course, the pig just winked and said, "Not I." And the dog barked and said, "Not I." And the cat meowed and said, "Not I. I might get my paws sticky, ew." So the little red hen turned that beautiful wheat flour into the most beautiful dough you have ever seen. Now, the last thing she needed to do was bake the dough into bread. So once she let the dough rest on the counter and rise, and it was ready to go into the oven, she asked her friends once again, "Who will help me bake this bread?" "Not I," said the pig, rolling around in the mud. "Not I," barked the dog, falling back asleep. "Not I," meowed the cat. "I might get my paws dirty." So the little red hen put the beautiful bread dough into the oven to bake all by herself. Now, after about an hour, the bread was almost done baking, and the smell was everywhere across the farmyard. Oh, the bread smelled so delicious. So when the little red hen pulled it out of the oven and set it on the counter, she went to ask her friends one last question. "Who will help me eat this bread?" Well, the pig could barely stand it. He jumped out of the mud and ran to the little red hen's kitchen. The dog, who was sleeping, jumped up I will eat the bread. No, I will eat it, said the pig. And the cat, who smelled the delicious smell, said, meow, I will. I'm the most beautiful. I should get to eat it all. Well, the little red hen looked at those three lazy animals and said, no, you will not. I planted the seed. I threshed the wheat. I took the grains of wheat and ground them into flour all by myself. I took the flour and made it into dough, and then I baked the bread all by myself. And since I did not have any help from all of you, I will eat the bread all by myself. And that's just what she did while those three other animals sat there with their mouths open, wishing they could have a bite. Do you think they learned their lesson? I don't know. Maybe they'll help the little red hen next time. I sure hope you enjoyed the story, and I hope to see you again very soon.